We're inviting nominations now for someone who raises funds for a great cause, no matter how big or how small their efforts. It could be someone who comes up with creative and offbeat ideas to raise cash. Or maybe it's their passion and dedication that really inspire others to give. Our winner will be invited to attend the star-studded Daily Mirror Pride of Britain Awards in London in October. The event is now in its 16th year and will be hosted by Mark Austin.
Now, we all need a little extra help sometimes, but without the incredible efforts of the fundraisers, many of the places we turn to simply wouldn't be there. These amazing people go the extra mile without looking for anything in return. All the more reason, then, to give them a big thank you. And that, of course, is what the Pride of Britain Awards are all about.
The person you nominate must be aged 16 or over. You can nominate them by going to itv.com/Pride of Britain. That's all one word. You'll also find nomination forms in Lidl stores, and full terms and conditions can be found at itv.com.
And we look forward to receiving those nominations. Now, here's a story I think a lot of you may well relate to. Half of British workers say their local coffee shop is a more productive environment than their office.
And apparently we now spend more than 130 million hours per week working from cafes, which have been dubbed coffices by some, while more than 1 in 4 would choose to work there if they had the option. And that's according to a survey, and Lauren Hall is going to tell us more about that.
For these businessmen and women, it's another busy day at work. No surprises there. What is surprising is where they're working. Not an office, but a coffee shop.
I've noticed an increase in office people coming to work in a shop, and I'm very proud and happy that they can find a very welcoming environment in here, and they're choosing us.
A choice more and more people are making, according to new research. People are abandoning their place of work for a place normally reserved for leisure time. But this lot insist they're still hard at work and say they're more productive here than anywhere else.
I'm Ivan, I'm the Finance Director of a property investment company.
I'm Linda and I work in PR.
I'm Rupert, I work in PR, sponsorship and events.
3 of us met today for a business meeting. In business, nearly everything that you achieve you do through personal relationships, and being able to relax somewhere like this.
I often come and work at the coffee shop. There's space here that there isn't in the office. There's Wi-Fi, you can have something nice to drink. Everyone just leaves you to get on with what you want to do, so it's perfect really.
Between meetings, spend a lot of time in coffee shops, getting free Wi-Fi and drinking lots of coffee. It's an interesting place to be.
They're not alone. A new survey's found 2/5 of people spend time working in cafes and coffee shops for more than 4 hours a week. Over a quarter of workers say they would do if they were given the option, and nearly half say it would make them more productive. It's now easier than ever to work remotely, thanks to advances in technology.
Nowadays, most workers have access to one of these and one of these, which allows them to work pretty much anywhere. But working in a place like this isn't such a modern trend. In fact, people have been meeting in coffee houses to conduct business for hundreds of years.
Coffee houses, as they were known then, started to appear as early as the 17th century and became the place to do business.
So coffee houses first opened in 1652, and from the very beginning were associated with businessmen and men of commerce and merchants. They'd come together in the coffee house right through the Georgian period, through to the Victorian period, as a place. They saw the coffee house as a place to drink coffee, obviously, but also to transact business, to talk about the news, and generally go about their business.
So it seems this is the traditional workplace. What better excuse for getting out of the office for that coffee break? Lauren Hall, ITV News.
So if I'm away from my desk, I'm just being a bit more productive somewhere else.
Yes, we'll suggest it to the boss tomorrow.
Now, we've had much more settled weather across the West Midlands today, but it was a completely different story over the weekend, with flash flooding and flashes of lightning.
Yes, this is Queen's Road in Nuneaton Town Centre as it was turned into a river on Saturday afternoon. Shops were flooded and pedestrians were up to their knees in water. Cars struggled to make it through after a heavy downpour.
And most of us will have heard some thunder over the weekend. This lightning storm was filmed over Cheltenham and has been slowed down to show just how dramatic the storms were. This one lit up the Birmingham skyline. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the iconic BT Tower taking a hit. Let's have a look at it now, quickly.
Incredible pictures. Well, weather presenter Manali Luka joins us. Manali, what caused these powerful storms that we experienced so noisily over the weekend?
Well, it really was incredible, wasn't it? And can you believe across the UK from Thursday and into the weekend we saw over 62,000 lightning strikes. The cause was warm and humid air that pushed up from the near continent, and as that warm air moved north across the Midlands, it met with some very cold air from the Atlantic. That allowed the warm air to rise, and it created some cumulonimbus clouds, and within those clouds some very static energy created, and that resulted in not just heavy downpours causing flash floods but also thunder and lightning strikes.
Well, as you say, it came from the continent, didn't it, Manali? And it seemed very continental in its way. Now, more thunderstorms expected, I guess.
Yeah, there we are. I mean, we're generally moving into a settled week of weather. We've got high pressure in charge, so a lot of fine weather to enjoy, lots of sunshine, but it is going to be staying warm. And then at the moment, it looks like towards the end of the week, we are still at risk of seeing some showers, still some heavy and some thundery downpours. They can't be ruled out, but the air is quite different at the end of the week. It's much more stable compared to the conditions that we saw over the weekend.
And how dangerous are these thunderstorms, Manali? I'm thinking about specifically the lightning strikes, for example.
Yeah, unfortunately, lightning strikes can be dangerous. They can cause deaths, but the chances are very slim, almost 3 million to 1.
Thanks very much, Manali. Now, what have you got in store for us over the next 24 hours?
Well, over the next couple of days, it's not looking too bad. Mostly dry, sunny spells. Let's take a look at the forecast.
What's in store for today? ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Center Parcs.
A ridge of high pressure will keep our weather fine and settled over the coming few days. Beautiful spells of sunshine to enjoy. It's going to be staying warm, although towards the latter part of the week, the risk of seeing some showers. Overnight tonight, we're looking at a dry picture, largely clear skies, although some pockets of isolated mist patches forming. It's going to be another warm and a humid night as well, with temperatures dipping no lower than 12 to 15 Celsius. And the clear skies by night translate into a beautiful start to tomorrow morning. Almost clear blue sunny skies, although towards the far northeast we'll perhaps have a bit more cloud around, and through the course of the day that cloud will sink a little further south. Just fair weather cloud, not spoiling things. It's going to be warm, as I mentioned, highs of 25, 26 Celsius, feeling very pleasant if you are going to be out and about with the wind staying light. And then beyond that, not bad for Wednesday either. It's going to be a fine day, largely dry with some good spells of sunshine, warm again, 27 Celsius. But then on Thursday and Friday, the risk of seeing some showers, some heavy thundery downpours can't be ruled out, but the showers are fairly well isolated. Again, 26, 27 Celsius, and it's going to be staying warm and humid overnight as well.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Center Parcs.
The Pollen Count, sponsored by Checkatrade.com. Checkatrade.com.
So the humidity in the air will keep pollen levels to moderate over the next couple of days, and it is good news for hay fever sufferers because the grass pollen season is now in decline. Bye-bye for now.
Finally, a quick look at tonight's headlines. And hundreds of jobs have been promised for Birmingham and the wider West Midlands. It's been announced that the construction headquarters for HS2 will be based in the city centre, and derelict land near the planned terminus will be regenerated.
The first rush hour since the tunnels in Birmingham closed for the summer got off to a slow start this morning, with tailbacks back to the M6. The company behind the project said the first few days would be the worst.
And the new Education Secretary, Nicky Morgan, answered questions on education in the House of Commons today, but wouldn't go into detail about the Trojan horse allegations ahead of the official publication tomorrow of another report into the affair.
As always, more details on our stories on the website, itv.com/central. We're back tomorrow, and I'm back with a late bulletin at 10:30 from the team. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.